So in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a moon pillow, and I don't even know how I got this idea. I just thought it would be cute to have a moon pillow on my bed, and my duvet, comforter, whatever you want to call it, is currently black and white, so it kind of like looks like space and stars, so that's really neat. So I thought I would just make one and show you guys how to make it. So it involves a lot of painting. I started off with white fabric and then I painted it to look like the moon. But if you can find some like gray speckled fabric that already looks like craters in the moon, then you're totally welcome to use that, just to save some time, and it would make the pillow more comfortable. The pillow I made isn't comfortable to lay on, it's just more for looking at and looking pretty. So yeah, so let's just get right into it. To begin with, place a placemat or a plate on top of your fabric, and then I put a little weight on top and then cut around, and you're going to have 2 layers of fabric. And once it's cut out, go ahead and separate the 2 layers and make sure both right sides are facing up. Now I'm going to take some fabric paint. I've got silver, gray mixed with white, and gray mixed with black. And got some brushes and an extra piece of fabric to use kind of as a sponge, but you can use a sponge brush if you want. So just make sure it's laid out flat, and pull up a picture of the moon on my phone, just for reference for craters and stuff. So I just started by taking the light shade of gray and just kind of painted some on, and just kind of experimenting. And then I used the extra fabric to sponge at it a little bit to give it kind of that cratery look. Basically just kind of play around with it, and you can always add more paint if you don't like something. You can always cover it with some more paint. So I added some dark spots and kind of sponged them out. Then I put some lighter paint over them later just to kind of even the tone out, so it wasn't just these spots, everywhere. So I just keep sponging and blending and adding the different colors. You can really do this any way you like. But I did it to both pieces so that front and back would both be moon-like. And you want to let it dry completely. So when both pieces are completely dry, you're going to face them right sides together. And so almost all the way around, leaving an opening so you can flip it right side out. Now, once it's sewn, you're going to actually, you can trim off the threads, and then you're going to actually want to trim little triangles all around the seam allowance. And be sure not to snip the thread, because you don't want your pillow to come undone while you're stuffing it. But this just helps it kind of turn inside out and helps the curve a little bit. So this is just kind of a helpful thing to do. And once you're finished with that, you can go ahead and flip it right side out. And this can be a little difficult because the fabric is pretty stiff from the paint. But if you just take your time and work with it, it'll be fine. And then just go ahead and smooth out the curve. Now go ahead and take some stuffing and begin stuffing your pillow. You want to start by filling the top and just working down to the opening. And when you think it's stuffed enough, you should probably add a little more stuffing, because a lot of times people don't stuff their pillows enough and then they settle and they're just not very comfortable. So you want it to be pretty full. And when you've got it, then go ahead and fold in the edges of the opening. And then I use a whip stitch to stitch it shut. Now I didn't pin it, and you may be wondering why, and you can, but I didn't pin it because the paint and the fabric, it would kind of leave the hole there from the pins, so I didn't want any holes in it, so I just went ahead and just held it together with my fingers,
and stitch it shut. And I will warn you, this is a little more difficult because of the paint. It's a little harder to go through, so just be careful, but I didn't have too much difficulty. And once you've got it stitched, you are finished with your moon pillow.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up down below. And please subscribe if you want to see more videos, tutorials and videos by me. And yeah, if you make this or anything from any of my previous videos, please go ahead and post it to social media using the hashtag pherylo, which is my username, so that I can see it and like it and comment. And just seeing your guys' stuff makes me so happy. As always, if you have any comments or requests or anything, just leave me a comment down below or hit me up on Twitter or social media. And yeah, so especially if you have any requests for costumes or decor or anything, because Halloween is coming up. I know not everybody celebrates, but for those of you who do, if you would like a certain costume or something tutorial, let me know. I've already got one that is finished filming and I just have to do a little bit of editing, and I'm really excited for it, so I hope you guys like it. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, so I will see you next time. Bye!